welcome back to Gwayne Sailing. This special edition video will give you a quick visual overview of our travels over the last year and a half. In August of 2024, we sold all of our belongings and left Illinois on our monohull. We sailed across Lake Michigan and down through Lake Huron. The St. Clair and Detroit rivers dropped us into Lake Erie, where we hopped onto the Erie Canal just past Buffalo, New York. The last lock of the canal empties into the Hudson River, which we took past New York City and the Statue of Liberty. We went through the Delaware and Chesapeake Bays and then to Norfolk, Virginia, which is the northern starting point of the Intercoastal Waterway. We stopped in Charleston, where we bought our catamaran that we named Gwayne, and continued our journey south in the Atlantic Ocean to West Palm Beach, Florida. We crossed the Gulf Stream and arrived in the Bahamas in April of 2025. We sailed around Freeport and then visited the Abacos, Eleuthera, Exumas, and Nassau before heading back to Florida. We sailed north leisurely along the East Coast that spring and decided to spend our summer in the Long Island Sound area since neither of us had been there before, and it was beautiful. We visited most of the towns along the Long Island Sound and made it up to Newport, Rhode Island before we turned around. When it started to get cold, we headed to Annapolis for the October sailboat show. We made a few stops along the coast to see some friends as we continued south, and then staged in West Palm Beach, Florida for another crossing to the Bahamas this year in February. This time, we sailed to West End Point in Freeport and headed south to the Berry Islands and then to Nassau. The strong winter winds kept us at anchor most days, and it took us longer to get to the next key than last year. The Exuma Island chain was next, where we did a lot of exploring. Highbourne, Shroud, and Compass Key were some of our favorites. We spent a week in Black Point attending a sailing regatta, and then 3 weeks in Georgetown with our sailing friends, before heading up and over the Bahamian Key called Long Island, and even farther south to the remote Bahamian islands of Acklands and Mayaguana. At the end of April 2026, we crossed over to the Turks and Caicos and are currently waiting for a weather window to sail to Dominican Republic. I hope this visual overview of our journey was helpful. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions you'd like us to answer about our daily lives on the boat or any other topic that you'd like us to cover in more detail. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.